This is how our Western scientists believe the world, the universe started. There was a sound at the beginning,
Hmm.
like a big bang, and from that the light started to be existing and the time, and then all the elements and particles, energies were created until it formed the matter in the form of earth and then humans and
That would have to be a very, very, very high vibration. Do you believe that's what happened?
I saw it in this way in my vision. I went through it from this point of view, and I believe that there are just different stories, visualizations, uh, but at the end, all of them are true, and you can understand them through some mythological story or allegory, or you can see it as a scientific Big Bang and expansion of the universe. But at the end, they all talk about the same thing. I saw the beginning of the universe through this Big Bang theory. I was there at the beginning. I saw the whole expansion and creation, how the Western scientists imagine it. And I saw it as a creation through the shamanic way and how Indians see it was formed. So
How
there
do
are
they see
just
it?
what?
How does the shamanic people see it happening?
They see it as a layer of consciousness from which kind of a God created everything. It's
Oh, like
basically it's
Christianity. Like Christianity. Like there was a God that created everything.
yeah, it's similar. They just they don't have the same perception as a Christian God, which is like a person. It's not uh, individualized God that you can see it as a person. They see it in a different way, like in the uh, Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma, if we call it in a correct way. Uh, Even though they call it Deva or Devi, like a god or goddess, uh, the highest state, it's not a personified
No,
being. It's
no.
it's the universe or consciousness or the
But
field
it
of
still doesn't explain. I think there has to be a way, like, we can measure vibration. So there has to be a way of explaining how it all happened. This makes sense to me, like, because it shows what
consciousness.
energy and vibrations can create.
Um, at the beginning, there was a word was with God, and it's the same thing with Om. Universe wanted to see itself uh, and to experience on that. So it had to be divided, and we are all that part of that God. We just forget everything, so the play makes sense, that the game makes any sense. Because if he would remember everything, all of us, there wouldn't be any reason to play this game that they call in Hinduism Lila, like a god's act or a
I get,
game.
I understand.
But some of them, some of these scientists, they all already accept the hypothesis that there wasn't just one beginning of the universe and that it will expand till forever, but there is also an end of the universe. It will again return to that one point, one smallest seed point, and it will expand again. So it's a cyclic mm, uh, nature as everything around us. is the beginning, then nurturing, then there is a decline, and yeah, it will be destroyed and then built again.
Well,
So
it's happened
also,
a few times already. Not to the
also,
universe, I mean to the world, the
yeah,
earth.
yeah, civilizations and traditions.
Mhm.
You can see it on a personal level that you are born, then you live your life, and then you die again, and you are reborn, probably. Or I know that uh, I am reborn, or I saw that. Even in Christianity, actually, Catholics were working with this paradigm that we are reborn. It was cancelled later in a dogma of Catholic Church because it wouldn't be um, so much motivating for people to obey if you are reborn again. And this is the beginning of everything. That's the uh, level of highest consciousness or absolute or God, universe, where everything exists in potentiality, but nothing is manifested yet. Then the universe needs to create duality. So from this absolute, from unity, you divide into two basic principles. One is chit, that's consciousness or thought or mind. And you have a prana, and prana is a life force energy, the universal mother or nature. So always you need to have a will, a thought, a mind or wish, and then you need to have energy and activity to really create something. So these two principles needs to be there. And
Okay,
consciousness is always connected to male. It's like a stability, firmness, uh, without movement. It just exists, but nothing is happening until the female is there, because that's the movement, that's the time, that's the change. And without that activity, nothing would be happening. So we need both of these principles, chit and prana, or mind and energy, or consciousness and activity. And this energy, you can imagine that the highest level of all is that absolute that you can't even describe. Then you have a sound. That sound, it's the vibration, frequency, that resonance behind the sound. And then you have a light as another layer. Light, uh, you can imagine it as a ray of light. Like if you would take just one ray of the light and you divide it into the whole frequency, electromagnetic frequency, you have just a different qualities of that one light. Uh, we can only see as a humans only small part of that light divided into different frequencies. We call it rainbow or the colors. And if you split the ray of light through the crystal or through the drops of water, then you can see through our eyes that they allow us to see that these frequencies in a way of color. We can't see or hear the frequency, but our senses, our eyes, will show us the color. But it's basically a different frequency.
hmm.
If you divide that light, these are the frequencies. You can see these nanometers, the wavelength. Just the color doesn't exist. There is nothing like a color. It's not an objective reality. It's our eye and it's our brain that this frequency, sound, vibration translate into a color, into a visual way that we can
Okay.
perceive that. Yeah. But the electromagnetic frequency is huge, but we can see only a very little part of that frequency that we call a visible light.